What up people, Revan the Legend here and welcome to 80's Mania Wrestling Returns tips and tricks, and now we're going to look at some advanced tips for our more experienced players. Now we all love it in wrestling when one of our old favourites from back in the day comes back for that one more match. You can do that in 80's Mania Wrestling Returns as long as you unlock the correct card. There are a couple you can use to make this happen. So we have the Legends card where you can bring back an inactive wrestler and put them in the match as a one-off. And another way to see some of your old inactive favourites come back? The Battle Royale pay-per-view. Now in a Battle Royale, this is the one match where you can bring anyone back. Active or inactive, bring them back, stick them in the match. We all love it. When there's a big surprise and one of our favourite pops out, you can do that. Without the Continuum card right here in the Battle Royale. Pick your person, throw them in, and if they win, who knows how long they'll be sticking around for. Now, if we get back to the back of a wrestler card. Now we're going to use Elfette here as an example. You look on the back of the card and there is, down in the bottom left, it will tell you the status of this card. Are they a good guy? Are they a bad guy? Or are they something in between? If you want to change that, you can do so. So you click on the bad for this example for her, and you can choose for a cost to change the status of a wrestler from bad to tweener to good, whatever you prefer. Now I have in fact done this on Elfette's foil card, and I'm going to show you. As you can see, when you're bad, you get surrounded by the red ring of doom. It means you're a bad guy. If red means bad, blue means good. We know this. So now on our foil card, which I have changed the status, you will notice the border changes with it. She is now blue. She is good. And if you click here in the bottom corner, it shows the same as well. Now if you've changed it, you can easily change it back. It will cost you. So don't worry too much if you change someone and you feel like actually I did prefer them as a bad guy or as a good guy. You can change it back. Tweener costs a little bit more, but gives you a lot more flexibility with your bookings. So keep that in mind when you're changing a card status. Now another thing you can do on a card is to change their push. You can change it up or you can change it down. Depending on how you're feeling about the card, all you need to do is click on the push button on the back of the card, and then as you can see here, you can either promote the push or you can demote the push. And there's a lot of good reasons you might want to do this. It might be a card that you really like, but they're just not winning enough. So you will promote their push. It will bump their status up as far as where they are in the card, but also, more importantly, it will add to their push bonus. It will increase it by 3. So this card here currently has 7 push. If we were to promote it, it would bump up to 10, which means there's more chance of them winning a match. Conversely, you might find there's a card that wins all the time that you don't really like. You want to push them a bit further down the card. You can do so with the demote push. This one costs a lot less. The promotion costs a token. The demotion only costs 25,000, which in game, that's pretty reasonable. So you can push them back down the card if you like. I've done so with Zen. Zen is one of my favorite cards, but he has a push of 10, which at the top level of the card is just not good enough. So I have given him a push bonus to bump him up to 13, as you can see. And then if you wanted to promote him again, throw another token in there, bump it up, and he will be a bona fide main eventer with a push of 16. So let's give you an example of this. One of my favorite cards in the game, funnily enough, is Slugger Johnson. He's one of the starter cards, but I just really like the guy. So we are going to throw him in. I've already given him 1 push bonus. I'm going to throw another one in. So I'm going to click on it here on the push. Promote push is going to cost me 1 token. No worries, I will pay that gladly. Are you sure you want to promote this? Yes. And now Slugger Johnson has now got a 13 push, and his status has been bumped up to upper mid card. One thing you want to remember is that when the status of your card improves, it also changes what matches they are eligible for. So you might find you have an opener like Chet Sky. If you decide you want to bump him up, he will no longer be eligible for opener matches. So that's something you need to keep in mind. Sometimes you'll find that there is a particular status match that you're struggling to book. So right here we have openers match where we can only use opener wrestler cards. Sometimes maybe you just want a variety, maybe you just don't happen to have enough for that particular category. So what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the wrestlers. It's only going to show us openers. And as you can see, there's a bit of variety but not a huge amount. It might be that you want to change that. Get someone who's currently in the mid card, drop them down so they are eligible for the openers matches. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to cards. We are going to search by mid card because that is the one we need to drop down. and if we click on active, these are all my active mid-card wrestlers. So if I were to demote one of their pushes, they would then become eligible for the openers matches, which would give me a bit more variety. So we are going to have a look at one of these guys. We're going to look at Red Pirate Rogers, currently a mid-carder, but if I were to demote his push, he is now an opener and therefore eligible to compete in my openers matches, all for the reasonable cost of 25,000, which was not bad. I mean, we earned that quite quickly here. So now I can go to openers and I will find that Red Pirate Rogers will be available for me to use. I'm going to go down to the R, and there he is. Red Pirate Rogers is now eligible for me to use in the openers match. Now, as you're playing the game, you're going to find that cards will naturally upgrade their skills as long as they're being booked. Every now and again, they are going to get a skill bump, but sometimes they need a little helping hand, and if your card only requires one more skill bump, you can manually train them using tokens. So we're going to look at one of my old favourites, Slugger Johnson. As you can see, he's doing fine, but he's struggling just to get that last point of skill to bump him up to being maxed out. So what we can do is we can go to the shop, to the training section, and as long as you have a card who's only 1 point away from max skill, you will get given the option to bump them up. So we're going to search through here until I find my good friend Slugger Johnson, and then we are going to bump him up using a token. And like I said, you get a token at the end of every year, so don't be afraid to use them. So here we go, Slugger Johnson, my good friend. He's one away. We're going to train him up at the cost of a token. Tap and hold. It's a feature that comes in just to make sure you don't accidentally spend your tokens on things that you don't really want to. So we're going to hold it. Train this wrestler for a max skill at the cost of 1 token. Absolutely. It's Slugger Johnson. He's my favourite. And there we go. Slugger Johnson now has max skill, and we can see this just by going through to cards, wrestlers, active, and I always search by my favourite. I'm going to go down to my good friend Slugger Johnson, who is now going to be performing a lot better than he was before with his maxed out skill rating. Now, once you have maxed out a statistic on a card, it will change just from your regular card color to purple, which indicates that you have now reached the maximum rating available on this section. Skill 13 out of 13 for Slugger Johnson. So another great way to bump people's skills up is to send them off to another federation. Let them train over there, let them work over there, and come back to you with A, better statistics, and B, a little bit of money. So we're going to click on the news icon here. We're going to go to a roster. You pick whichever roster you want to send them off to, and then you want to manage the roster. You can pick any wrestler you want, send them away, and they will come back in a year's time. Remember, super important, they will be gone for a year, a calendar year from when you send them away. I'm currently in April of 1984. I will not get my wrestler back until after April 1985. But the good thing is you can pick any wrestler that you don't use very often, and then you can send them away and they will come back with better statistics. Let's find someone who suits the bill. So right here we have Buck Bronco. He's a card I haven't used yet, and I'm not planning on using him in the very near future because of the ways my divisions are currently going. So we are going to send him off for a year so he can improve on his statistics and bring me back a little bit of cash. As you can see, he needs help on all 3 of his categories, so we are going to select him. As it says here, it will be sent away for 48 shows, which is a year in game. You have chances of getting an increased skill rating. 20% chance that it will come back with an extra skill rating. 20% chance it'll come back with an extra mic rating. Plus, you'll get a little bit of cash. When you send off a bunch of people, it all adds up. So we're going to proceed. We're going to send him away, and he will not be eligible for me to use until this comes back down to 0, at which point I can recall him, take the money, enjoy the skill boost, and use him in my own roster. So another advanced tip, we're going to look at manager cards, and more importantly, manager focus. Now what this means, we're going to search here by manager. On the back of manager cards, you are going to find particular wrestlers who these cards have an extra boost for, should you choose to activate it. Ali here has a boost for Reptile Ranger. We have here another one who has Bugbuster, Anti-Voodoo, and Goblin Knight. And if you click on it, you're given the option to unlock an additional bonus. So if you use that manager with that wrestler, they will get additional statistical boosts. So we're going to look for someone who I really want to do. I'll tell you what, we have Mother Russia, and I'm definitely going to do it with Mother Russia. So we are going to activate her additional bonus when it comes to being used with Hammerhead. The cost is 1 token. We are going to apply our manager focus, and now here on the right hand side you can see additional bonuses that only Hammerhead will receive. So when I use this card, not only is he going to get +3 push, he's going to get an additional 2. So he uses her now, he gets 5 push bonus. That's crazy! So you can do it with any card. If you click on the back, it will show you which wrestlers they can be used, and it will also show you in grey what the additional bonus will be. So you know before you spend your token what you're going to be getting in return. Now there are a few other things you can spend your hard-earned money on, and these are unlocks. So we're going to click on the show here. You can see bonus segments. So you can pay to unlock an additional bonus segment for every show. So we're going to click on this one here. Unlock an additional segment to your week 1 show for 100k. This is a permanent unlock on all week 1 shows. So if you want to unlock an additional slot on every single show, you're going to have to do it for each particular week. There's 4 weeks, it will cost you 400k. How long is it going to take you to run those up? We can go through years quite quickly here, people. So we're going to unlock this, we are going to proceed, and as you can see now, we have an additional segment that we get to choose what you want to add. You can have all sorts of things in there. I'm just going to go for a basic match. We're going to throw in a one-on-one match, add it to the segment, and it's going to open up our show. So another thing that you can choose to unlock to help yourself in the long run is merchandise. So we're going to click on merch table, and as you can see up here, for a cost, you can unlock another 5 merchandise spots, which means 5 more avenues of money coming in. That's big. So we're going to unlock one right here. This will permanently add 5 additional spots to your merch table on all shows. That's the important part, all shows for the cost of 100k. We are absolutely going to do that, which means every single show now I've got 5 additional merchandise slots, which means more money for your boy. The important thing to remember is that your tokens can be used on a plethora of things, not just used to trade in for cash. You can use them to unlock segments, unlock managers, unlock bonuses. Keep an eye out, keep them stacked, and you're going to find plenty of uses for them. Make sure you're using them wisely, because sometimes you need to think in the long run. A little bit of money now for a bigger gain in the future. And that will do for the advanced tips section here. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you again.